I want all of you to think about this. Today, 15,000 transgender troops, including those serving in war zones all around the world, are waking up to the news that in the middle of the night, their commander-in-chief abandoned them simply because of who they are. Donald Trump, a 5-time draft dodger, and Mike Pence, a transphobic zealot with no military experience, are pushing their extreme political agenda onto the military. And they're putting their own prejudice before the thousands of brave transgender troops, enlistees, and their families. Not to mention, there are countless other military families who are wondering what this ban means for their own transgender family members, their own children. This morning, I've heard news coverage referring to this ban as controversial. But you know what? It's really not controversial. Bipartisan politicians, conservative and liberal, have spoken out against this hateful ban. Military leaders and national security officials have spoken out against this ban. And public polling shows that a majority of Americans, including a majority of Americans in all 50 states, oppose this ban. So there is simply no way for Donald Trump and Mike Pence to spin this. They're going all in on their discriminatory, unconstitutional, and despicable ban on trans troops, which really only does two things. It appeases Mike Pence and his far-right radical cabal, and it significantly weakens our military. They know exactly what they're doing. They've sided very intentionally against our military and with right-wing zealots. And we know it because after the Trump-Pence regime unveiled this policy late last night, reporters were tweeting that Pentagon spokespeople and Pentagon officials had all turned off their phones and were refusing to answer reporter questions. Even the Pentagon is embarrassed by this policy. You know what this Trump-Pence action is called? It's called cowardice. And let me be clear. Transgender troops have done more to serve their country than Donald Trump has his entire life. These brave troops and their families deserve better than this injustice and this cowardice from this 5-time draft dodger. Mark my words, this president will forever be remembered for his bigoted and his spineless attacks on our trans troops who are bravely serving our nation around this world. But I want you to know that we here at HRC will never stop fighting this discriminatory policy until every single current and every future trans service member is equally treated and respected fully for their bravery. Last night, when the Pentagon turned off their phones, we held a press conference at 10 p.m. with dozens of reporters across the country and around the world to explain exactly what this ban does and what motivates it. And our lawsuit against this president and his administration continues to move forward. Next week, oral arguments will be heard in the case filed by our partners at Lambda Legal and Outserve SLDN, in which we here at HRC are plaintiffs on behalf of all of our members. We're not backing down, and we're going to keep calling out the Trump-Pence regime at every single turn. And we urge you, we urge all of you, to register your outrage with your members of Congress and with this White House. Because it's long past time that lawmakers on Capitol Hill in both parties stand up, speak out, and stop this unstable, dangerous man and his hateful regime. And I know you know this, but it bears repeating. These politicians, every single one of them, they answer to you. And it's on all of us to make sure they never forget that.